Am I the asshole for, quote, silencing my girlfriend? I, male, 28, have been dating my girlfriend, Nancy, 25, female, for about 2 months. We met on a blind date that our friends set us up on and have been seeing each other relatively regularly since then. I'm not entirely sure if we are officially boyfriend and girlfriend, but Nancy seems to think so. Nancy describes herself as a bit of a, quote, mean girl. I honestly thought she was joking for a while, as she is typically quite nice. However, she has an awful tendency to insult people based primarily on their appearance.
Ew.
These insults can happen anywhere and anytime, and can be targeted at literally anyone. Of course, she never says these things about the person right in front of them. The other day, I invited Nancy to a family friends event that we are having. My mother's friend, Sarah, had just gone out of the hospital for cancer. Sarah's family and my family are very close. I've known them since I was born and consider them to be extended family. Due to the cancer and the chemotherapy, Sarah no longer has any hair and is very thin. Once Nancy saw her, she started smirking. I literally pleaded with her not to say anything rude, and she agreed, but told me that I was ruining her fun. Fast forward, I'm chatting with my mother, female, 55, and my sister, 24. Nancy walks by and says hello. She chats for a bit before starting to make several highly offensive jokes about Sarah and her appearance. I will not repeat anything, but her jokes mainly pertain to baldness and anorexia.
What the fuck?
My mother and sister looked mortified, and so was I. I literally had my jaw hanging open for a good few seconds. Once I snapped out of it, I firmly told Nancy to stop and that no one found her shitty sense of humor funny except herself. She got upset and said that I was being controlling and misogynistic for trying to silence her. I maintained my position and reaffirmed that her comments were insane. She got even more upset and asked that we leave. I said it would be rude for me to go as it was still relatively early, and she ended up leaving on her own. Am I the asshole?
What? No. Where is the April Fool's or prank in this?
Update. I was complaining about you-know-who to my friend who introduced us on the phone. He deadass told me that he introduced us on April Fool's for a reason.
Yo, that friend sucks.
That's so fun.
Oh my god.
He's been dating her for 2 months, and the friends set them up as an April Fool's prank because he knew how fucking rude she was. How absolutely rude she was. And he set his friend up on a date with her as an April Fool's prank.
That's crazy.
That's fucking wild. I'm lost over here.
Nancy is the worst type of person ever.
That's
to like say I'm a mean girl so I can say all this stuff. I hate when people like give blanket statements like that. Like, oh, you know, that's just my personality. I'm a mean girl. Oh, I'm just blunt. I say it how it is. That does not give you an excuse to be a shitty fucking person.
Yeah, you're just a shitty person. You're not a mean girl. And like, okay, why would, even if you are a mean girl and you're like, hey, I say these things in front of my boyfriend, how fucking dumb are you to think that you could go and say this to his mom and sister who are like best friends with the person you're making fun with? How fucking dumb are you?
No social awareness at all.
I told my friend who introduced us on, he dead ass told me he introduced us on April Fool's for a reason.
That's wild.
Fuck.
That's wild.
That's not a prank.
Bro, I would not be a friend with that guy anymore.
I mean, is setting someone up on a blind date that is like horribly a horrible person with your friend, that could kind of be an April Fool's joke. And but then it turns out your friend is like, oh yeah, we're going on another date, and you're just like, you don't want to admit that you set them up with the shittiest. You thought it would be so obvious the first day that it wasn't, and you're like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Now OP is gonna blame the friend because
right?
He went along with it for 2 months.
Like, is that kind of like setting someone up with like setting an atheist up on a blind date with someone who's like super religious? Like, you know, they don't mesh, or setting like someone who's like a heavy like steak and meat eater up with like a vegan or a vegetarian or something like that? Like, do you, like they just,
Like
they're not
opposites?
just like opposites.
Yeah.
Like, is that like, you know, it's supposed to be like painfully obvious, like once they get on that first date that like,
Right?
they're not going to like each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
This says a lot about OP that he spent 2 months with her.
that's what I mean. The friend is probably like, dude, I did not think you'd last 2 months.
Yeah.
That's so fucked.
That is crazy.
That's wild. I think that's got to be the wildest prank that we have read from the
Yeah.
episode so far. Dude's just like, I'm going to set him up on a blind date.
That is crazy.
Oh my God. Okay. Back to you.